We back up in this bitch.
You know, if they wanted to take it outside in the parking lot, the ex-wife and her homegirl would have been well within her right to put a little beat down on the mistress.
Oh my God, I just want to get on this mic and talk to my girls.
We still got some fucking ninjas out here that don't know no better.
How dare you? You think that it's appropriate to take a woman, a young woman who is still a minor, and put her in front of the congregation to apologize?
Him, he's just a ninja. I mean, he was cheating from the door. She said it. He didn't give a shit about nobody but himself.
We might find out some shit tomorrow that we had no idea. So I'm just gonna sit and wait.
Listen, something don't smell right to me, but I'm a mind my business. But I'm not, because I want to know what y'all think.
So stop acting like, oh, we're not taking handouts. Bitch, you are a handout. You taking our money.
Hey. Welcome to Three Aunties and a Mic, the podcast about grown folks ish. I am your girl V with the T, and I have with me Weekday with the everyday drama and Miss Bookworm with the read. What's up, ladies?
What's up?
Hi.
So we have some special guests in the building. We got some uncles with us, y'all. This is our last podcast of the season. We are wrapping it up for the summer month, and we will be back in September. So we thought we'd do something fun, and we have some uncles join the aunties this last week for this episode. So welcome. They calling themselves disclaimer number 1 and disclaimer number 2. I'm a little nervous, y'all, because like, why y'all got to call yourselves disclaimer? That means y'all gonna be more off the hook than our weekday is. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. I'll be on my best behavior tonight.
Looking like the blue light special over there. I see you.
I know.
Let's change that so y'all can stop clowning me.
Now you the
What's up, disclaimer number 2? How you be?
What's up? So, yeah, I'd rather be called Uncle 12 Piece. So,
Uncle 12 Piece it is.
I don't care who.
Uncle 12 Piece it is.
I'm gonna be
There we
rude.
go.
I'm gonna be rude, but I'm gonna be respectful rude.
Uncle 12 Piece, you got it.
Uncle 12
Here comes the bullshit.
What's up?
Here comes the bullshit.
All right, before we get into our episode, let's catch up real quick. Let me catch up with my girls real quick before we get into the episode. So what's been going on with you, Bookworm? How you been?
Get down for that.
I have been in graduation fever mode. My 8th graders on my job have graduated this past Monday from this recording, and tomorrow my 14-year-old daughter graduates high school as well. So I am in graduation mode, 8th grade dance mode, both on the school front and the home front, the job and the home. So I'm just glad today is the last day. No more anything for me. Don't ask me for anything. I'm not cooking. I'm not wearing a bra. I'm not doing anything but sitting in the backyard, smoking my smoke, and doing whatever else that I feel like doing, because I have earned these 2-month hiatus from middle school kids. That's it. End of story. Go judge y'all mammies.
I know that's right. Weekday, what you been up to? What everyday drama you got for us this week, girl?
The bullshit keeps coming. I just live with it at this point. You know, I had my therapy session today, so I feel better because I know if I didn't have that session, I was spiraling out last week and it was going to start back up again. So I said, you know what? Let's stop the bullshit. Let's calm down. She told me take some deep breaths. I was, between,
Yes.
the nine. And then these people wanting to act like, you want to come for me. So, okay, for example, I've been trying to get this damn dog his hair cut for 2 weeks now. Nobody's calling me back. I'm leaving messages, blah, blah, blah. So finally, I just called the store and I said, could you get me over to the grooming department? What the hell's going on? So she said, oh, yeah, we got your message 3 weeks ago. Why the fuck you ain't call me back, bitch? My dog got a bunch of hair on him. It's going to be 90 degrees. He is suffering like buffering. Y'all know I ain't turning that damn air any further than where it's at. I cannot continue to afford the high ass electric bills. So I'm like, I got to
What
get them
number
cut
is it
down. She
at?
said, oh,
What number
Montana,
is it at, Weekday?
who was the groomer. What number is it at? The damn groomer
Yes,
no
please, just
longer works
enlighten
there. So
us.
that's why you didn't call me back. I said, y'all don't have other people working there? She said, yeah, we do have people working here. I said, well, bitch, pick one of the other motherfuckers. I don't care. My dog is desperately in need of a haircut. So tomorrow we're going in at 12 o'clock. And I'm going to show my ass again. Like, don't do that shit. This shit ain't cheap. It costs $80 to get that damn haircut. So y'all better answer. And then they ain't getting no tip. They just don't know it yet. But that's all the drama that's been going on for me. Right? That helps you out.
Hold on. I need to know the number that your thermostat is set at. That's the number I need to know, because you said you're not going anymore.
Because I got a ceiling fan going right now.
70?
I dare somebody to touch it.
70 damn 6. 76.
Oh, hell no. You out of your mind. Oh, hell no.
I ain't like your heifers. I ain't going through no damn change, baby. Listen, I already met with Minnie. Me and her had that conversation.
How would you know?
Me and Minnie already have a relationship.
When I tell you I go to sleep, I go to sleep butterball naked. It's on 70, and that's the only reason I put it on 70 is because my kids claim that I'm freezing them out. I put it on 70 at night, butterball naked, fan going. What? 70? Girl, ain't no way.
I don't.
Listen,
our thermostat
y'all still visiting with fucking Minnie.
Ever.
Okay, that bitch has left my house.
Ever.
I don't have no problem, and I do sleep naked. And I do put a cover on, and I had the ceiling fan going. And no, we're not going no above 76, except for I'm going to have company, so I'm going to have to, desperation calls for desperate time.
76 in the house. I know you sleeping naked. You're 76 in the house. You sleeping naked. We already do that.
76?
That's why, listen, that's why Max needed to that's why she needed Max's haircut. Because Max hot as hell, too.
The difference.
Oh, I know. I know when Minnie left my house.
Uncle 12 Piece, you see the game last night?
What you gonna say disclaimer? I'm just waiting for this shit.
Uncle 12 Piece, you see the game last night?
What they got to do shit?
Which game? The Stanley Cup?
Basketball.
Basketball game.
I'm just having a conversation with Unc because y'all got y'all little thing going.
All right, so listen, we're gonna get
all right.
Yeah, right. You see what's going on here, right?
We got caught up in the matrix.
You see what's going on here, right?
We got caught up. We just shut the hell up, didn't we? Did what the hell we were supposed to do. We supposed to shut the hell up. Don't say nothing. Don't suggest nothing. Just shut up.
Hey, look, the roles have reversed, right? You speak when we're spoken to.
Damn right. Yep.
Your job is shut the hell up, speak when spoken to.
Exactly.
Know your damn role.
Ain't nobody saying damn thing to me.
Nope. Hey, look, look. The words was, did we ask you to change a light bulb? Did we ask you to do it?
Nope.
Huh?
Just sit here like a puppet.
Nope.
Hey, just shut the hell up. Who told you to? See, you gonna get smacked. You gonna get your ass whooped because you spoke out of pocket.
Real quick, can y'all hear me? Is there an echo? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Can y'all hear
me?
I can hear you, so echo.
Yes.
No
delay.
A little delay from you.
All right, cool beans.
Now let me make sure we recording. Y'all see it? I'm recording, right?
Yes, we're recording. It says you are in the recording.
Okay, mine don't say that, so I was getting nervous. Okay. All right, let's go, ladies. What's up? What you want us here for today?
All right, so disclaimer number 1.
Okay.
I run this here podcast.
First of all, you know what?
Know your role.
It's Uncle
Lower
Dre.
your
I'm messing
tone.
with you. No, but for
Lower
real,
your
let's get
tone.
started.
It's Uncle
Lower
Dre.
your tone.
All right, y'all. So let's get started. So let's start with the V with the T segment of the
Hey, put some
podcast.
respect on our
So y'all,
names.
I know we didn't. I
Oh
know we
Lord,
didn't
here
have
come
this
this
on the
mess right
agenda, but
here.
we got to talk about Tyler Perry. We got to talk about Tyler
Yes.
Perry.
Woo.
All I need to know from the folks on this here podcast is yay or nay.
Okay.
Do you think he did it or do you not think he did it? What we got?
Can I get the full some of the story? Like, did she say he did it on the set or like when they were alone?
It's not a she.
She?
No.
Who the fuck is she?
It was a dude.
He.
It's not a she. It's not a she.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
a he.
It's a he.
so
It's a
so
dude
what?
who used to play on the Oval. Young white guy played on the Oval. I think he's a white guy. He might be Hispanic. I don't know. Anyway,
Yes.
young guy played on the Oval. Yeah. And he has text messages between him and Tyler, you know, that are he says they're sexual in nature. They could be sexual, they could be flirtatious, tomato. He says that one time he slept over, I guess Tyler's house, maybe. I don't know where they were, but maybe they were on a yacht. I don't know where they were.
Yes.
But they spent the night together.
No,
somewhere.
it was his house.
And
yeah.
Okay, it was his house. So he had spent the night at Tyler's house.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in Tyler's bedroom. He was in his own bedroom. And he came out, and apparently he says that while he was in the bed, Tyler touched his thigh. Something about asking him if he a top or he a bottom.
With him.
Yes, got in the bed with him. And
you sure it wasn't Medea?
He did, but I can't remember.
Let me ask you something.
No, it wasn't Medea.
Maybe not.
You sure he wasn't in character? Woo!
See? Hello.
I didn't even think about it like that.
So that's a little synopsis of what went down. And so the man is now suing Tyler Perry. This happened back in what, 2019? 20?
Yeah.
Right.
2019,
wow. All the way to 2022.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
But
and so now he's suing him.
Let me say this.
For $240 million?
60.
260 million.
60.
For touching a thigh, right? For touching a thigh and giving you a job.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to make sure I knew
just for everything.
Much more.
It's for everything.
It's
yeah,
much more.
For everything.
I listened to the whole it was like 43 pages. It took me an hour. So yes, no, it's a collage of things over a time period.
$250,000 worth?
Before the pandemic. No, not a quarter of a million.
Look at him, man.
I think he's going for $2.6 billion, wasn't it?
Oh, he ain't getting
260.
that.
Yeah,
no,
million.
No, it's million. It's million.
It's million. I'm gonna tell you who I'm confusing it with. I'm confusing it with the other black guy that just settled with McDonald's. We'll talk about him another time. But I listened to all 43.
I didn't hear about that one.
I listened to all 43 pages. If this guy can hand over the cell phones with all of those text messages in the cloud, out of the cloud, whatever the cloud may be, I'm telling you, he better be telling the truth. He better be telling the truth.
Well, I'm going to just say this. But when you listen to some of the text messages, it seemed like he was playing into it. So it didn't seem like he was as innocent as he's trying to make himself seem. He was playing. It was like a flirtation shit. So I felt like there was a lot of flirtation going on, and he was flirting back. So I'm like saying, how are you saying that this person is like coming onto you sexually, and you never batted an eye? And guess what we got? Everybody has it. Every woman has it when she tired of that nigga. It's called the fucking block, bitch. Why didn't you block them damn calls? That's all I'm asking. If you were feeling like he was coming on to you like that, why didn't you call them block? Bye, boy. You wanted it too.
So you don't
You and
believe it.
Medea was going to give it to
Like I
you
said,
too.
So who says
I'm
yay?
not
Who
saying
says
he didn't
yay?
do
Who
it.
says nay? Who says yay and who says nay?
Who?
Who says yay? No, I'm going to say
Because I listened to
I
that
don't believe in the
foolishness.
sexual assault.
Uh,
Nay. I'm going to say nay
no,
about the sexual
I
assault.
don't believe in
I
sexual
believe
assault.
that
No, no,
Mm-mm. Let me turn
that
this one
part.
off.
because because the simple fact you didn't have to stay the night at any other time.
No. Mm-mm.
You could have left
You could have got an Uber home.
if you
Yep.
was uncomfortable.
His
You was
driver.
uncomfortable. You could have left. But the fact that you
Yep.
kept on antagonizing it, agreeing with it, you
Mm-hmm.
kept going with it.
He did.
So I feel like
He was
what
doing
are you
some
doing?
woman
You pulling a
shit.
Bill Clinton. Yeah, you pulling a Bill Clinton and a Monica Lewinsky type situation here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold on to this until so I can get my cheddar.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
What are we doing?
I
So
believe
what do
that
you say,
Tyler
V?
is guilty of some things. I honestly believe
I
What?
think
Tyler
he's
is
guilty of giving
guilty
it to
of
him. I
some.
think he's guilty of giving him a little piece, but that's all I feel like he's
See,
guilty of. V,
I
what you
believe he
yeah.
think?
did
I mean,
touch
but
him. I do believe he touched him inappropriately. He asked him to get on the scale with his underwear on only. You should have never agreed to that. You should have never agreed to that because
That's what
all of
I'm
this
saying.
stuff that
Listen, this
happened
was
in
a
your
grown
past.
ass man. Let me say this. I'm gonna
Nope,
say
you
if
should have
this was a
never agreed to
child,
that.
I wouldn't have a problem with this. I wouldn't have a problem if
thank
it was a
you,
child. This
thank
is a
you.
grown ass man, and you're gonna tell
You
me
Looking to
grow.
that you
advance
agreed
his
to some of this
career.
bullshit? Come on now. You own that shit. You own it.
Looking to
You
advance
own it.
your career. That's all you were doing. And that part is in the lawsuit. He says he kept coming back because he felt as though it was a career opportunity. Honey, you better
Yeah.
have a whole lot of stuff that because it's a civil lawsuit. So you don't really
Yeah, it
have to
is.
prove too
Mm-mm.
much. You don't have to. So I hope that Tyler has some powerful, good lawyers to dig deep and ask
But
for
y'all have
all
to
of the
remember,
cloud of that
this is
stuff.
not something. I feel like this can't. He didn't start telling him about the lawsuit now. He's just exposing it now. You see what happens as everybody keeps coming back to that person. See if you're gonna give me money. It's the same thing. What happened with the what's that stupid boy with the that stupid old man with the hip? It's the same shit, right? They keep coming back asking for money.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who it is she
You
talking
Hey,
about.
know
Who
hold
she
what?
talking
on.
about?
You
Trick
know,
Daddy?
huh?
Trick
Hey, look,
Daddy?
No, 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 no. You know what I'm talking about. Really?
look,
Me.
look
Y'all
at
know who
here.
I'm talking about. But anyway, it's the same kind of nonsense where that person keeps coming back to you, trying to get you to negotiate with them and trying not to embarrass you. And I assure you, Tyler knew about this for months or even
Oh,
years that this
three
person was
years.
been trying to
3 years.
extort money because this is extortion really at this point. I mean, because you did do some agreeable things that make me question. It doesn't matter that yes, proving sexual assault in a civil case, yeah, but proving that you didn't agree and that you're not looking for the come up, he's gonna have to prove that shit. And
Tyler
at this point,
He
it's
is.
looking like he was looking for the come up.
Tyler Perry gonna
But you
turn around and sue him. You watch.
Well,
That's
that
what it
might
looks like.
happen, but his story is very similar to Christian Keys' story. And Christian Keys never named Tyler Perry.
That's right. He
And
did.
the stories are very similar. Christian Keys had a thing he was trying to, a show he was trying to get on. All of that, the guy Derek Dixon is his name, had a show he had been trying, and he's claiming that Tyler was holding him at bay for getting this show off the ground until the statute of limitations ran out on harassment,
It's
which is
smart though,
7
nigga.
years. This started in 2019. It's all right there. You have to listen to the entire suit. Like, Tyler, you know better. And Tyler literally asked him, I I'm trying to be somebody's sugar daddy. I want to be somebody's jump off. friends with benefits. Well, I'm saying, Tyler, you have enough money that you can hire you hire the baby mama. Why don't you hire someone in that city that is down for that and can people got a number, and you can give people a number and they'll agree to anything you want. So this is going to be interesting. And another thing is, this is not the first lawsuit, y'all. They're coming.
Oh, we know. They're coming. They're coming back and forth.
So, they're coming.
I think the thing that no one has said except for you, Bookworm, and I haven't seen it on any social media platform, is that Christian Keys said something very familiar. If y'all don't know, that's my boo. I love me some Christian Keys, y'all.
It's in his lawsuit. He mentions Christian in the lawsuit. He mentions.
Oh, he does. Okay,
that's how crazy.
Yeah, well, I follow Christian Keys, and when he was going through his, when he was starting to talk about what happened to him, he never named names, but he did say that he was a big, person that would surprise you.
He did.
But he never named names, and
he probably was.
This
paid
is what
off.
I'm gonna say.
I honestly believe he was paid off.
I don't think Christian Keys was paid off. He might have been, but I don't think he was. And he had a show.
He's still alive?
The show that's out. Christian Keys is still he's still alive. He's still good. I mean, I just think that he just got quiet and he just decided to bow out.
Let's ask him, was he still alive?
But he's been very quiet. He hasn't been as vocal as he normally is. He's been kind of just focusing on his healing or whatever he's doing.
I think he got $1.
He might have gotten $1. He might have. I don't know.
I do too.
Know. So, but he was the one that had the show. I watch it all the time with that model in it. With the
Eve.
Sinners?
All the Queen's Men.
Yes. So that was his show. But Tyler has taken over that show. But he was the one that wrote it. Originally.
I didn't know that part.
And so the first season, you can tell the difference. The first season was Christian. The second season is Tyler. And you can tell the difference. You can tell it changes. It shifts a little bit. I mean, Christian, he's in that show. He plays in that show as well.
Okay.
So, but anyway, listen, I don't put nothing past nobody. Just because he's Tyler Perry. I think it's interesting that it's coming out now. The Straw is #1 on Netflix. However, that's probably the best time for him to do it because he's gonna make the most money. Do I think that this man? It's hard, right? I always have a hard time with this because it's like, were you playing into this on purpose to set him up, or were you really feeling like you were being harassed sexually and you just didn't have an out? You want your career to jump off. And I don't know.
I'm leaning more towards that.
Yeah. And I think it's very stupid as someone who has gotten so far for you to put that kind of stuff in writing. Listen, I don't put nothing in writing.
A lot of people don't know how to get a burner damn phone. You don't know how to get a burner phone. Come on now.
I'm not putting anything.
I'm not saying that I have cheated or that I am implying that people should cheat. All I'm saying is get a fucking burner phone. You got the kind of money that you can have. Oh, don't look at me that way, Uncle Peace. You have the kind of money that you can get a burner phone that nobody can recognize all that shit and activity going on. I'm just saying. But again, okay, now I remember the hit guy. That's Shannon Sharp. Anyway, people be holding on to shit, right? And I just think that, to me, I think it's a money grab at this point. He knows that Tyler is, is really bringing in the dollars right now. So, I don't know. Listen, I don't put, like my mama said, this is what's wrong with you men today. Y'all get your ass in trouble for that little man in the boat. And I'm gonna leave it right there. That's what my mama said. That little man in the boat gets you in
Lord
trouble every
Jesus.
time.
Don't we have the little man on the boat? We have the little man on the boat, right? I might have
Last
missed it.
time I
Nah,
checked.
nah.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought we okay.
Last time I checked.
All right. So
That's all I say. All right.
I was on Instagram, social media. I don't remember if it was Instagram or something else. And there was this woman that was saying that she shares her husband willingly. Because she wants other women to experience what a great man he is. So like, if they leaving out, he opens the door. She expects him to go open the door for other women. Just all the wonderful loving things that he does for her. She wants other women to experience this. Now I had to go and listen to the scoop, the story, because at first I was like, what she mean by sharing her man? So when I heard what she said, I said, okay, I understand it a little better. However, I still don't agree with it too much. I'm
What
like,
part is she sharing? Is she sharing him physically?
not physically.
Sexually?
So like not sexually, but like say if, you know, there's a woman by herself and, get up and go, hold the door for her, pull out her chair for her, close her car door for her. All the things that you would do for your woman, I want you to do for other women.
My husband done missed the memo, but go ahead.
So so maybe that's why she wants other women to experience it, because other women are not experiencing this, whether they single or married. They not experiencing the gentlemaness.
I love my husband. I swear I do. Y'all know I do. I love him.
Y'all ain't gonna be talking about my homie now. You gonna end this shit right now.
And look at here. I was waiting for you to chime in, boy.
Y'all ain't gonna talk about my homie like that.
So listen, so what I want to know, and listen, we got the uncles here, so this is a great, a great conversation, right? So as a married man, as a man in a relationship, do you feel like, if your girls come around, that, whatever mannerly things you're doing for her, that you should do for them, or do you feel like that should just be reserved for your one and only? What y'all think?
Well, it depends on what it is. Like, I've went places with you, Vernell, and your girlfriends, and I make sure you get in the car and shut the door, and I try to do the same for your friends, because that's not. I don't think that's sharing your man. It's just a man being a real man. Like, I fixed a woman's flat tire twice. Remember?
I remember.
And the way I look at it like this. And if you look at it this way, it's not really sharing your man. That could be my sister. It could be my mother. It could be my aunt. It could be my daughter. And if somebody's gonna open the door for them, I'm fine with that. I don't give a damn if they got a woman or not. If you ain't trying to holler or nothing like that, and you just being a man, fixing a tire and all that, I'm fine with it. If he's married, I've done it. I do it all the time. Like even like real quick, like today, we left court. I work with a team of 2 women, well, sometimes 3, and we were walking from the courthouse to the parking lot, which requires you to go down the street a little bit. And it was just a habit to walk on the side, the outside. Like, that's just habits that I have. It's not. I don't think that's sharing. Am I? Does that make any sense?
No, it makes sense to me, because I was thinking the same thing.
What you're talking about is chivalry. That's chivalry.
But didn't she say opening doors, pulling chairs?
But she's saying to do this almost like out of your way.
Go out of my way.
That is what she's saying. That is what she's saying. But would you go out of your way to do it for other women?
I
or is
only
that something that you feel is just
I wouldn't.
for your significant other?
I don't think I would go out the
In
way,
her
but
presence.
I don't think I would go out the no, not I
Yes.
mean, no, no. There's a time and a place for that. Like if they got a flat like I said, if a flat tire, yeah, I don't want to see any woman like stuck. You know, so yeah, I did do it while Vernell was there. But go run across the street so she could get in her car and close the door? Hell no. I'm with my woman. Nope. Ain't no way in hell.
He said, "Hell no."
Nope. No
I
way.
want to flip the
Okay,
script for
so
a minute.
okay, flip the script.
But
How would she feel if they went to Memorial Day? They went to a Memorial Day cookout at wherever. Was it her place? They're not hosting it. Now she goes and makes her man a plate. Now she sees somebody all by himself or whatever, single, then she, being kind, is going to go make him a plate. How would he like that? He's not going to be receptive of that. It's not going to happen. It just isn't. So there is a thin line between being a helper and being overly kind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she is allowing him to cross that line to save her own feelings because she don't like it, and she trying to convince everybody else that what's going on is normal for them, instead of really taking a deep look and be like, yo, all right, now fall back, homie, fall back. You
I
might
want to
be
hear what
having a
Uncle Two
little
Piece,
too
12 Piece
lengthy.
has to say before I
Oh,
say what I'm going to say about this. I want to hear, but
Yeah,
Tiffany,
but I think you're
but
spot
Miss
on. I
McGraw,
think you're
you were on spot on
spot
for
on.
me.
that's it.
But
That's it.
yeah, I agree with you. But I want to hear what he has to say before I give my commentary on this bullshit.
Because that's what it is.
right, when I read the story, she stated, as far as what she wanted to share him about. She didn't say nothing about, anything else. I agree it opens up to other avenues of something happening. But trust is going to be the main key word in this. Do you trust him enough? Do you trust them, the other females, enough to where it stay within that parameter of
Trust no
okay,
damn body.
And don't.
can you
I don't even trust
so
myself, sweetie, but okay.
but you get what I'm saying? She may
I
trust
get
him
it.
enough. She may trust him enough. She may trust the people that he goes over there to help hang up a TV or go, do something, fix a faucet or something like that, where she don't have the money, the money to do it. To hire somebody to do it.
Y'all
That's
remember
Say,
who
hey,
watched
my husband
BMF?
can do it.
Y'all
that's
remember when
Huh?
he
helping.
was going over there to fix
That's
that woman's house
helping.
on BMF?
Right. Exactly.
Oh my
That's
God. What talk
helping.
what
There's a thin line.
Look,
Helping
if
versus
basically
being kind.
if that lady want that other women to get help, bitch need to get on the phone and call Tyrone. That's what I say. You don't need your husband doing all of that stuff. If you want, you don't need your husband. Your husband is not for that. Your husband is your husband. You all that sharing stuff. That's whack, man. Go.
Very.
Why can't the woman be like, oh, my husband has a friend, whatever. Let him walk around and do that. No, come on, man.
she could do that.
Bottom line is,
She could do that.
but
I mean, but
this
that,
heifer.
that it's trust.
Go
So
ahead,
Uncle,
cause
It's do you
so
trust?
one
okay,
question,
Do you
one question.
trust?
So Uncle 12 piece,
Oh,
what I'm gathering from you is, and I'm gonna sum this up. So what I'm seeing two different sides of the coin here, which is cool, right? Because I'm glad that y'all aren't total in agreement. But what I'm hearing from you, Uncle 12 piece, is it's about trust. And I should be able to go to a woman's house, put up her TV, do all these little favors for her. I'm assuming they're unpaid because based on this woman's, stance, you shouldn't be charging the women for this because you wouldn't charge me for this. So you going over to this woman's house, you putting up stuff, you run across the street to go grab her bags when she's getting out the car. I mean, you just doing these beautiful things for this woman that's not your wife or your significant other, and it's about trust. Just trust that I love you, and that this is just me being a gentleman. And then Uncle Dre, what you saying is that there's a thin line. Like, yes, chivalry is dead, so you try to bring that back alive, but you're not gonna go to the point where you're gonna get cut, because you know I cut, right?
No, because
For
it
those that
opens.
don't know, listening to this
You,
podcast, Uncle Dre
look,
is my husband, my baby daddy, and he knows I cuts.
look.
It
So
leaves
he
room for
being very
It
error.
leaves
careful
it
what he
leaves
say.
room. Yup. Because if I
It
keep
leaves
going to
too
somebody's
much room
house,
for error.
yup.
Nope.
Because if I keep going to somebody's house doing favors, yeah, it started out innocent. On my behalf, it's always going to be innocent. But then you start catching feelings because you just hung up the phone on your boyfriend because he did something wrong, and I just happen to come over there and hang up your TV. You start talking about it, and and I'd make a mistake and say one thing, give you one little
Nope.
small bit of advice, which I don't do. I ain't doing that. But if another man gave you advice and you like, oh, I could talk to you, you're easy to talk, that opens up the door. That's
Yeah,
To
some
me,
my
old.
I
wife
just felt
says the same thing. You
But you
easy to
can't.
Yeah.
talk to. Yup, my wife thinks the same way. Yup,
Okay,
I'm easy
okay,
to
but
yeah.
you
talk to.
can't
She
close that
told
door.
me.
You can't close that door. You can't
Come
close
on
that
now.
door.
No, no,
This is the thing.
it ain't about
You
for
can't
me.
close it.
Look, I can close
Let
the
me
door,
ask you,
right?
but you
Like,
can't.
look,
Can you close the
Unc,
door?
Unc, I
If
can
you
say,
see
Unc, I can say no, right? Yeah, I can say no. I
if
can
you
close the
see a
door.
conversation
I
going
know
somewhere,
that, but here's the thing, Unc, I can say no, right, and close that door, but that doesn't stop her feelings. Like, it ain't just about me. I'm not gonna do nothing.
okay,
It's
those
just the
are
fact.
her damn.
It's
Hey,
just
Those
the
are
hey,
her
fact that I
damn
don't.
feelings.
pause.
It's just the
Pause
fact
for
that
a
I don't want
second.
no other woman lusting for me if I'm married.
Listen,
It ain't. It
pause.
Okay,
ain't.
That part too,
but
but
it's
listen,
Okay.
pause. Let me say this Uncle 12 piece, right? Every relationship that shouldn't be happening starts off with, I can just close the door.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm all for men and women can be friends, right? I got
Absolutely.
I got
Yes.
more guy
Yes.
friends than
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
girlfriends.
Absolutely.
However,
Yup.
there is certain things that I'm just not doing or engaging in. Period. I remember one time Uncle Dre, I was trying to get to Chicago for a conference and they ain't had no hotels available. And one of my best guy friends lives in Chicago, and he was like, "Oh, just stay with him." No, no, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not doing that. Not because I think something's going to happen, simply because I'm not putting myself in that situation. I'm not putting him in that situation. And if the roles were reversed, I'd be damned if I'm letting my
I'm
husband
not
stay at some
going
single
for the
woman's house.
bullshit. Nope. No,
I
not
I
doing it.
So
I
I'm
do
gonna
unto
say
others as I want them
y'all
to
have
do unto
said
me.
your
Ain't that the golden
piece,
rule?
but I'm gonna say this as a single woman. Okay, so I'm gonna talk up. I'm gonna say first of all, this is some mommy shit. Number one. You worry about
Yes.
your damn husband being a fucking gentleman. I felt like it was some mommy play going on this year because that's what your mama does. If she advertising you to go and mess with Sally's daughter, she's telling you how good of a man he is, how I raised him, or whatever. So that's the first problem I felt in that whole conversation she was having. Like, you going through some mommy shit. Now the question came in, and Ms. Bookworm, you brought it up. Would your husband like you fixing a plate for another woman? Would he be allowing you to show how you are as a
Nope.
woman and in y'all's marriage or your relationship? I don't think so.
Nope.
So,
Nope. Nope.
while I was scrolling and I looked at this, I scrolled to some brothers that were talking about you taking a drink. Like, we get ready to go out, right? As women, we're gonna hang out, and then how about some guy said, "Well, I'm gonna pay for y'all's drinks." So the men said something to me that said to me, when they said it, I said, "Oh, okay." The one guy said, "You shouldn't be accepting no niggas drink. My woman should not be accepting drinks from no man because now that's implying that he can have a conversation with her. She should be saying, no, thank you. I'm married or I'm in a relationship or whatever she said, but no, thank you is the key word, right?" So then when I went and turned back around to hear what mommy was saying about her child, that she was holding him and patting his head, to say, okay, I'll send you down to Miss Johnson's house, because that's what your mother used to do. Say, you go to Miss Johnson's house and help her out. You saw her grab them bags. You ain't gonna help her at the grocery store. That's the shit you did as your mommy did for you. But as your wife, as your significant other? No, the fuck you're not. Because
No.
I'm going to have a problem with this because I'm going to tell you, as women, and I'm a single woman, and I can say this, as women, there's a connotation that there's that thin line that you come in to hang my damn television. Now, I ain't interested in nobody's husband like that. But you come in to hang my television, and now it's a question of, oh, let's talk, let's start having a conversation. Because you can't trust these bitches. That's why I only got 5 damn good friends, right? I
Women
got
are
some
the ones
acquaintances.
that
Uh,
you're right,
what?
because women
That's
are
right.
the ones who choose if y'all are
Because
going to
you're
have sex.
advertising something to
That's
that
it.
woman. You're advertising how good that man is. And first of all, I wanted to tell her, and I almost commented and said, girl, everybody might not like that. Everybody might not feel that way. Like she said, oh, he covers his face for the girl at the gym. Why? Oh, because he don't want her to feel like she's being disrespected. For what? She's showing her badass body off. She don't care. She don't. But it's the kind of initiation that could make some woman think he's either flirting with me
Yep.
or he's overstepping the lines.
Yup.
And so there is a
Yup.
thin line between all of that. And if you want to play mommy and send her down to Miss Johnson's house, go ahead and do so, baby. Because that's all you're doing is playing mommy and not the wife. That's my point.
And you know what you said, and what he gonna be doing
Woo,
down there, because Miss
child.
Johnson gonna need
Yeah,
some more help in
that's
2
right.
weeks.
Yep.
Every time Miss Johnson
Miss
got an itch, she gonna be looking for him to scratch it.
Miss
Yep.
And
Parker.
this is
Yep.
Miss Parker.
no, nope.
Miss Parker.
I don't trust.
Miss
No.
Parker.
Woo.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Child, listen. I think that was a great conversation. I got one more for y'all since we got the fellas on the line with us. All right, so y'all know Cam Newton stay in the news about him having all these
Make me so
broken
damn
homes and these baby
sick.
dad baby mamas and all these babies or whatever. So he been feeling some kind of way since Dr. Bryant came and hollered at him and what's his name, Nick Cannon. And so now he's saying, I guess that kind of got to him a little bit. And so he's having a second baby with the girlfriend that he currently has, but yet he still hasn't committed to her by getting married, making this a home, not having another broken home with these children that he's bringing, into the world with her, etc. And so it got me to thinking, and I want to call it borderline committing, right? And women do this too, right? But we're gonna focus on the men since we got our uncles joining us tonight to talk about why y'all think that y'all do this and y'all boys do this, right? So borderline committing to me is something like Cam Newton having two babies by this woman, staying in a relationship with her, saying he don't want no more broken homes, but yet he's not gonna take that next step and marry her, right? Or borderline committing is like, say, and I have quite a few. I have a few friends like this that have been in situations like this. Either a male friend has been in a situation like this, or a female that has been with a male who's had a situation like this, where say you're married, you guys decide you're no longer going to be together, so you separate, but you don't make it quite official yet, and you get with somebody else and you're committed to that person, but you can't be fully committed to that person because you haven't broke the ties with this other person. And
Legally.
right, and
Right.
you do that in a way so that you don't have to fully commit. So the people I'm talking about, the friends I'm talking about, they honestly have said to me, I'm not trying to go back down that road again. So this keeps me from having to do that without having to fully commit to them. Like I can be a part, but that gives me an out. So it's kind of things like that. Like you haven't, I know somebody that has like 3 or 4 kids with this man, and he keeps saying, "I'm gonna marry you later. I'm gonna marry you one day." Like,
And couldn't come
uh,
up with nothing else.
but
you,
yes, so it's like borderline committing. But you want me in this house playing
yeah.
wifey, playing mommy to your kids, cooking, cleaning, bringing home half my paycheck, etc. But you're not totally committing.
Yeah.
So my
Yo,
my
you going to
question
the
to you,
game? Yeah, later. I'm sorry. Go
no,
ahead, babe.
my question is, and that, and y'all, one of you's married, one of you single. So I love to see
You see, I'm over here
the
taking my
conversations
notes.
from both. Right, a conversation from a married man, from a single man, right? But y'all all got guy friends, and I know y'all got somebody that got some baby mamas around here that's living in the house with her, ain't and just ain't committing. So why do men and women do it too? Don't get me wrong, but why do men
Mhm.
do this borderline committing? Are y'all afraid of marriage? Are y'all afraid of getting divorced and them taking half your money? Are you afraid of,
That's a piece of it.
I know a lot of people don't like to get married because they don't want to end up divorced and they have to give
Mhm.
away half of their money. They rather just stay in a relationship with this person and just live with this person and not have that legal, contract. So what is it? What do y'all think it is?
I'm gonna let Uncle 12 Piece go first, but I can tell you this real quick before I'm gonna answer after him. I think men and women don't commit to marriage for two separate reasons.
I
Good,
agree.
Uncle 12 Piece, you got it, brother.
Oh, you
Yeah,
just gonna start with that and oh, because you're gonna let him go
yeah,
first and you're gonna come back to that?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because
Okay.
as a person who, as a man who's currently still married,
Okay.
um,
Bless you.
I've never had a problem with marriage. I don't have a problem with it. Never had a problem with it. I never worry about divorce or somebody taking half or whatever. Um, that don't bother me. Um, and and the reason why, and I had to, when I had to come to terms with the reason why I haven't fully committed to the legality of divorcing yet is, for one, I trust her when it comes to far as uh divvying out, funds, handling my arrangements, far as if I was to pass away, if something was to happen to me. I don't really have, I trust that she will do the right thing. Because I don't fully trust my daughter to do the right thing, even though she's the oldest of my two children. So
So that's a good point. And let me just put this
it's
disclaimer out there. Y'all done changed y'all names from disclaimer 1 and 2, so I can do the disclaimer. When I mentioned my friends, I wasn't
That was
talking
it.
about Uncle
That's
12
true.
Oh,
Piece. I'm talking
You
about
ain't talking
somebody
about
that's just
her.
straight,
Yeah, I had to
just
say
straight is trifling, okay?
trifling.
oh, okay.
Just
I know what
just
you're
so we
talking about.
clear, I was talking
Yeah.
about a trifling individual that I personally know. Carry on, not you. I just want to put that
yeah.
disclaimer out there. But to your point, I hear what you're saying, but that's what
Mhm.
power of attorney is for.
this is true, and
Beneficiaries.
the
Yes.
the thing about this, I'm gonna say this: I never took the time to dig deeper, to investigate, to go further into gathering information.
Oh,
Mhm.
I just saw it as, this is easy. Let it be. I
Mhm.
trust you. Look, whatever. Go live your life. Do whatever the hell you want to do. Live your life. Just if something happens to me, because everybody know here, I work in fire protection. I work in construction. Anything is allowed to happen to me.
Mhm.
So, I trust you. I trust you to handle this stuff. And it was just easy for me. That was just the easy route. So I was never worried, whether about taking half or whatever. If we had a house together, here, take it. I don't care. I can go stay in an apartment. I am a simple man. I don't need a lot. Don't need a lot. I got one hobby. All I do is work and tend to my hobby. So, that was the whole thing with me. Um, Now, as far as friends that I have that, have those kind of baby mamas, and everything like that. No, I don't. Most of my
Right.
friends are married. Most of my friends, they have what you call an exchange type of marriage where they, as a couple, they invite other couples. So they do shit like that.
Pineapples.
Oh, they swing.
Not my,
Okay, so they're
yeah,
swinging.
yeah,
Yeah,
Swinging.
there we go.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
so they swing.
Yeah.
So they do, So I'm like, whatever floats your
Okay.
boat. That's what you do. That's what you do. But they,
How many couples you know like
they
this?
don't
Uncle 12 piece.
they
I mean, when he said it was like, all my friends are married, and then he
Listen,
starts
I'm
talking
like, how
about
many
this. I'm
damn
just
friends you
thinking,
got like
is the
that?
majority of your friends swingers? Where
Yeah.
you meet these people? Did you meet them together,
oh,
separately, different
well,
occasions?
see, so most of my friends I
Multiple
met through
states.
most of them I met through doing fire protection because that's what I do. We some
Mm-hmm.
wild boys. We wild boys. You know what I'm saying? Either half of us either we're drunks, or we done a lot of drugs. You get what I'm saying? So that's
Mm-hmm.
majority makes up most of us. Um, so whatever they just feel free to do whatever. Um,
Mm.
so
Well,
it's just it's just where they, but they take care of their responsibility. They do what
So
they're
y'all know I
supposed to
like to
do for.
sidetrack, so we're gonna sidetrack in a minute. So how do you feel about that? Are you a monogamous man, or are you into swinging?
No, never been into
or
that.
do you date? Do you
I
date?
do date. Yes.
And by dating,
Multiple women at a
right,
time,
Time.
right.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what
do
she
you
or
No,
said.
just
have a
date one at
dating
a
life?
time?
Do
Yeah.
one
you
at a
have a
time.
dating life?
One at a time. My
Oh,
attention
Okay.
span,
So you're
my
the
attention span won't go
minority.
too
You're
far.
you're not in
yeah,
that
Huh?
majority of your friends. You're kind of like a
right. You're
Right.
the
you like
Yeah,
the
minority.
my
black
attention.
sheep.
Yeah, I don't have. I to keep it simple. The way I don't get caught up with some bullshit. One person.
So you're not a dater. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're not monogamous. You're
It's yeah.
what they call.
You're
You're
not a
not doing
dater.
all the there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just
Okay.
not a dater. You
Yeah.
date.
if
You
we
date.
yeah if we don't if me and that one person that I'm talking to don't work, I'll cut that person off and
Right.
do hey, you such and such.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna juggle 2 to 3 damn ones. Cause look, I've been fucked around and called you somebody else's name, and then we next thing you know we boxing. I'm not for that. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not for that. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be
So
careful out here in these
But let
streets.
me
Yeah.
ask you a question, Uncle 12 Piece. I appreciate you sharing on this open forum. That was very nice of you, even though I put my little disclaimer out there. I literally was not talking about you. I want to make sure that was clear. But I appreciate you sharing. But just to kind of circle back to the question though, and I understand that you don't have friends like that, but do why do you think, as a man, why do you think sometimes men are not
Committed.
so gung ho about marriage and commitment as their female counterparts? Why do you think that is?
uh, 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 and in the camp, I think it's yes, I agree. It's half having to share anything. Um, some of us still probably want to sow our oats out there at you know, still want to spread ourselves around. The whole thing, Papa was a Rolling Stone. We still want to be out there. We feel like if we tied down, we can't be out there doing whatever. Just like Cam. You know what I'm saying? He, he out there spreading himself around. And it's also, I feel like Cam's situation is to keep the bloodline going. You know,
He ain't breeding no horses.
but still, it doesn't
Just a
matter.
little
You don't even
thoroughbreds.
have to breed horses. But you have to look at it this way.
No.
Um, you have to look at it when the wealthy people, kings and queens, when kings did stuff like that, they had kids is to keep the bloodline going, to keep the wealth in the family, to
With
keep that.
each other, yes.
I feel.
And they
I,
were dating their cousins. That's why all of them
That's
half-ass
right.
the R word that
Ancestral.
I'm not allowed to say.
Retarded.
That's
right,
why they
and so,
special. There you go.
but
He
what
said.
what Cam is doing is he's keeping his lineage going, what he has built as far as an athlete. He's trying to make sure that he keeps that kind of situation going, that kind of thing going in his life. I just
So he
That's
not
just me
committing to
personally.
this woman that he's currently with that he had two babies by, because he might find another
I,
one down the line that he want to continue this
Is that his
lineage with when
first
he can.
baby's mom? That's how many kids
no,
No,
does Cam
no,
Nah,
have?
he got a
he
lot
has
of
8.
them.
he has not. This
He has
he
8.
has eight
Now
now.
he
This is
has
gonna be
9.
number
I'm sorry.
nine.
This one he has, it will make number 9. He has
Number
4.
nine. Yeah.
He has 4 by the first one, Kia, and he's also helping her raise the daughter. He has 4 boys by Kia.
Oh, let me know when it's my turn. I'm bossing.
All right, what up,
I
Uncle
know.
Dre? What do you got? What are your two things that you wanted to say?
Oh no, no, no. I was just saying like men cheat for certain reasons, women cheat for certain. I'm not cheat, but don't commit. I don't think it's never that. To me, I've never heard. I just think it's different. Like I never heard of a woman. All right, so let me tell you why I think men don't commit. Right, and I'm
Right.
not saying all of them. Let me just put that out there. Change my name back to disclaimer one. Let me just put this out here. This is not all men. I'm just saying a lot of the ones that I know and just ones that I hear of, a lot of them are. I think a lot of it has to do with being selfish. You want your cake. You ever you ever go out and just be like, damn, I should have stayed home, right? Because you realize that you thought it was a good thing going out. You thought you was going to, you thought you was going to party. You really thought it was going to be jamming. And then you get there, ain't nobody there. The music is terrible. And you was like, damn, I should have stayed home, right?
Mhm.
I know guys who they won't commit simply because, and this is firsthand knowledge, simply because what's out there is what they want. But then when they realize what's out there, like they don't realize that you should have stayed home, homie, because that little party out there is corny and nobody's there. But a lot of them who are out there now don't realize that what you got at home is a lot better. And some of them just selfish. They want the ass. They want the family, but they don't want the commitment. And and then that's just one thing. Like I know guys who just they don't want to commit because they just think their fun is going to end. Like I can't do anything anymore. Somebody told me that I can't do anything anymore. What can't you do that what are you doing now that you can't do when you're married? So that tells me, okay, you doing some shit that you can't do when you're married. Okay, so I get it. You just want to play the field. Say that though. But don't make up an excuse because that's what this person did.
Right.
Don't make up an excuse saying, oh, I ain't gonna be able to do what I want to do. Bitch, stop. Come on, man. I'm about to sometimes I lose respect for some people like that because I know they lying. And I'm talking when I say people, I mean people I know. I know
Mm-hmm.
personally. So it's just like and I don't deal with these dudes anymore. Like we're not friends like that or anything. But it's just like you just. I think some of it's selfish. Some of them just want their cake and eat it too. They want the family, but they don't want the wife or the commitment. Um, and a lot of and some of them just think they're gonna get trapped, or else you're gonna take my money. You broke ass nigga. You work at
You ain't got
McDonald's. Who
shit.
wants your money?
like
You ain't got
like
shit.
Midday said,
Who
you
wants your
ain't
money,
got
bro?
shit.
So
You ain't got shit.
I just don't think it's that's what I experienced, my firsthand knowledge. Now I know maybe one or two women who've talked about this, and I just be in these conversations listening. They won't. They say they don't commit to a man because it's too much trouble, and I can't like their situation was a little different though because they were messing around with a man that was married. So they
Oh,
was like, no, I don't want to marry him. I don't want to commit to him. I like the way it is now, like where he can get out of my take his ass out of my house, get out my face, and go home. I don't want him staying here. So it's just I've
But
heard
that's
two
why they're
different.
dating married men. They're
But
dating
yeah,
married
That's
men
right.
because it's again that borderline committing. You
Commitment.
can be
committed.
in a relationship with somebody, but you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to fully commit. So it's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing, right? You're dating
Yep.
married men so that you do not have to fully commit, because you can't fully ever commit to a married man. They're already married, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can he can take me on dates, he can take me on trips, he can buy me things, he can pay my bills. But at the end of the day, if I want to go out with this dude, if I want to go do whatever, I can do it because you over there married, we're not fully committed. So it's the same
That's right.
thing,
And
just
then
from a
and
from a female's perspective.
yeah, and then there's the other lady. It was more like she just thought, how did she put it? Her thing was like, you're I'm not committed because something about men not being ready. Like like she said, like it'll start out good, and they show their true colors, but I'm just like thinking, and I want to say something. All men ain't like that. You know what I mean? So that's rare to me. That's not like a major reason. I'm just telling you what I heard. But yeah, it's not. It's just different. The first one wasn't different from
Okay.
from man, but the second
Yeah.
one is just like, you know. And I don't even want to
Yeah.
get into women saying, "Oh, I don't commit to marriage because this man his credit score got to be this. He got to be buying me this. He got to be that." That's a whole nother story. We got to do that on another podcast because that man could have a great credit score beating your ass. You got Tommy Hilfiger. You got
Yeah.
you
So
got
you
all
invite
types of nice
yourself back.
bags. You get Yeah, yeah.
So you invite yourself back.
That if y'all talk about that, I'll be there. Y'all talk about that, I'll be
He
there.
said he's coming back.
Cause I get sick of hearing
Okay.
that. Oh, he gonna buy me this and buy me that, and I want a ring this size. Okay, but when he beat your ass, you gonna have all of that with a black eye and
Look at that ring.
You talking about you gonna get married at 20, 25, 30. What if you don't 50? What if you don't meet the right guy? How can you say you're gonna get married? But that's another story. So let's stay on topic. I ain't want to get everybody off topic. I'll call somebody later. You know what I mean? I'll do it later. Do it later.
That damn phone.
Miss Bookworm.
What you got, weekday?
Miss Bookworm, I'm going to hear what you guys say. Oh, you want to hear what I have to say? Do you want to go first, Miss Bookworm, or do you want me to go?
I'm gonna be quick because I'm gonna shut it. I'm gonna just shut it on down. Listen, commitment. We're in the 2000s. 2025. We are not in 1970, 1980, 1990s, where commitment and marriage was synonymous. They meant the same thing. It's not like that any longer. Does a marriage really mean commitment? It just does not mean the same anymore. Cam wants to be a father. Cam does not want to be nobody's husband. He wants to be a father. Oh, my seeds, my kids. That makes his ego. That does something to a man who has, like you said, but he thinks he's leaving a legacy. And I'm just like, okay, with your 8 or 9, fine. That's on you. You handle raising your kids how you handle raising your kids. But don't come at us with the bullshit. You wanted to be a father of many and a husband to none. That is it. If he can't come to terms and publicly declare that, then stop talking about it to us. Because you've come to terms with that, Cam. You know that. You're not that damn dumb. But you don't want to be a husband. You want to be a legal dater. You want to date legally. And that is why you don't need to be or should be anybody's husband. I give him props for not marrying those women because it would have been worse for them. Really, they're dodging a bullet. But by the same token, y'all laid down and had 4. Yeah, after number 2, I don't know all about that. But you did 3 and 4, baby girl, that's on you now. The second one, you're going 2, and you are. I remember her saying how much she takes care of him, and okay, so now you are going to be a mother of 3. Your 2 kids and Cam have a nice life.
And I fully agree with you, Miss Bookworm. I think this Cam Newton thing, and it's bigger than him. I think people don't use discernment. And you know how I always say that people will go and pick out a fucking dress know what's under that damn hood of that car more than they would know the person that they're laying down having children with. I mean, I don't care
Yep.
who you lay down with, that's your choice. But having children with them, I feel like this broken home shit, what he not understanding is everybody living across the country, those kids are not seeing the money coming in, right? They don't give a shit about none of that stuff. They care that that person is not part of their lives. He cannot be a part of all them fucking 9 kids' life. He's only going to be concentrated on the one that he's with right now. Jasmine, who is the person he's with right now,
The live-ins.
girl, why would
Yeah,
you?
the live-ins.
Uh, yeah, why would you go and have baby number two? Why do you think you're going to be the prize? Why do you think that he's going to finally say, I'm going to commit to her? This man is commitment phobic. He does not
It's
have it
not
in
gonna do
him
it.
to commit to anything. He committed to football, people. He committed to the fucking game. After that, he's still playing this fucking game, right? But it's a bigger game because now you're playing with people's lives. And if we take the women out of the categories and we start looking at these children, all you're bringing in is children that won't know how to do what? Commit to shit. Because you can't commit as the second parent. How are you doing your
They don't
job?
even know how to
So I
survive.
think that
They wouldn't even know how to
that's
survive.
what
Spoiled
I
rich
think that
kids.
people that don't want to commit, they fucking keep dating. You don't want to commit to
That's
nothing.
it.
Don't even give people those false promises and those false dreams that, oh yeah, after 2, 3 kids that you ready to. I knew I wasn't doing that shit because I know if I had to look at that monkey ass every day and be mad and be the bitter baby mama, I didn't want to
They
live
better
that
off.
life. Okay, but in reality, what happens is your children are not seeing that. They're seeing a cycle of you're just having random kids by all these different women. They got brothers and sisters. I think you got some ghetto twins and mixed in with this. That they're not seeing the holistic part of that in life. There has to be commitment, and I'm not just talking about committing to another person. I'm talking about committing to anything that you do. We start to see failure. People say, I don't want to do that now. Or they walk away from jobs and stuff because they haven't been taught how to commit, right, to anything. And so it's bigger than just having a relationship with somebody. It's having a relationship with everything you do. And you're not teaching that. You're showing as the example that you don't want to commit to anything. And really, to be honest with you, as children, it doesn't feel like you want to commit to them either. That's my opinion on it.
That's it.
Woo,
That's it.
child. All right. So
Wait, I got a quick question. Would this conversation go the same way if Oprah and Stedman had children and still weren't married?
It should, by all
It
counts.
should. Yep.
It should go to that conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
I
it
mean,
should.
I think whether they have children or not, it's still
They still
borderline
It's
didn't get
still not.
commitment.
married.
Yeah.
It's
They're
still
Not.
still
borderline
not
They're
commitment.
not
married,
married, but
right?
Yeah.
they're
They're
continuously.
committed to each other,
Yes,
but
they're committed to each other.
if shit goes left, nobody loses
Then what?
anything.
No.
And they probably don't come. They
Everybody,
probably
They
didn't
just
get
walk
married.
away.
Yeah, they probably didn't get married for business reasons, but they
Right.
Oh,
still.
of course.
But it's still not an excuse.
It,
I don't
right.
know.
So commitment is left to interpretation
Yep.
with some of
Mm-hmm.
these celebrities and
Yeah.
common folk like us. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
commitment is left for interpretation now.
Yeah.
In this
Everybody has.
day,
Yeah. And don't get me wrong,
So it goes.
sometimes marriage is just not for people, right? Some people just don't want to be married
Mm-mm.
for
no,
whatever reason they've come up with in their head that is just not something that you do. There's that, and then
and that's
there's
totally cool.
people that are not getting married and taking that total last final step because they don't want to be fully committed. But you know the difference. You can tell the difference in the way they respond, in the comments they
Yeah.
make, in the
But then I feel
and,
like
and
they're
how they
wasting
move,
people's
right?
time. But
To Uncle Dre's,
yeah, but I think wasting people's time
they
is
are,
not the
but
answer.
they're definitely wasting people's time but
just lose all
you are responsible.
of them.
I think we dropped somebody. Everybody who's here.
You know, it, because
Oh, sorry guys. Am I here? All right.
Okay, I'm
What
I
the
don't
back.
know
hell
what
happened?
happened, but we
I
we
don't know.
back
I got
on.
frozen and
Oh,
This
I
is a good. This
everybody
is a
that
good
happened to
time to
Everybody got
Everybody,
frozen.
everybody got frozen. I was like,
everybody.
what the hell?
Yes. So
I
this is a
thought it
good
was
time
me.
for
I
us
said,
to
ooh,
segue.
child.
I don't see how Tuesday.
Listen, Big Brother,
I don't see how
Big
weekday got
Big
frozen when she keeps her house to
Brother.
76 degrees. But we gonna
Why?
keep going. We gonna keep going.
all I would say is stop wasting people's time.
Okay. He said. He said,
If
"Shut
you
a
keep asking when
shut
we're
a
going
I
damn."
heard that
to get
part.
married,
Yup.
then
Oh,
stop wasting people's time.
Well, I don't know what to say.
And then people continue to date.
yeah.
That's
Yep,
all.
yep. What? But the
Are we
thing
ready
about it
for this
is,
letter?
that should be a thing. If you're going to be
That's all
long
I
term
got to
in
say about
a
Diddy is he's
long
going
term
to jail.
relationship, it should not be something you should bring out in the beginning.
I
They don't.
guess I would say so.
People don't do that. They pretend. They
I
pretend.
guess.
Not
No,
initially.
they pretend. They send their
Okay.
representative for the first 6 months. No, they're not going to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll
Yes.
tell you
I say
anything.
I
first.
They'll
mean,
make you
in
believe
6 months,
anything.
I don't even know if they
Hell,
sent their
you
representative
need
for the
time
in
and
six.
Hey,
six
I
baby,
in
think
I'm
six
almost
months,
drinking
6 months.
see who
water.
you
I'm
dealing
gonna
with.
put some,
I don't even think it's 6 months.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Now it's shorter.
if you
Yeah.
six
But
months
So
into
let's
a
just
I
really
guess I'm
say,
relationship,
just kind of
somebody tell you,
breaking up
baby, I'm
here
gonna
on
drink your
my
bath
end.
water. No, I see you, but you're a little faded.
Yeah, I'm starting to experience a lot
Is
of
everybody
Yeah,
yeah,
I
frozen
think
everybody
I'm
again?
keep
I
breaking
can
up a
see
little
that.
bit.
freezing up.
freezing. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and let me
Yeah.
try to get through
Yeah,
this
they
I don't
probably
either.
said
letter.
we don't want to
Y'all
hear
Can
have
you
your
guys
nothing but
hear me
black
cameras
folks
okay?
got to
coming
say.
through?
All right. So we're gonna let's just go ahead and
You
skip
want to
on
go
to
do
the
this letter?
letter. So we can get that out
Let's
before our
go.
final show for the season is over. So
Yep.
yep, go ahead, weekday.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So the letter is called Main Chick, Side Chick, and Babies. Okay. Aunties, my homegirl who's 34 years old and she is the side chick. She's been messing with this dude for the last 2 years. She's had one abortion already and working on number two. This dude has been constantly telling her she is the one. Now she has found out the main chick is pregnant and he is getting married. He's telling my homegirl that he wants her to stay because he loves both of them. She has not told him she's pregnant, and now she's asking me, should she get rid of the child? She feels she does not want to have another abortion. She feels she's losing her childbearing age. I told her to fuck him. I told her I could help her and be the baby daddy. Okay. She is scared and she wants him. I'm telling her plenty men would love to have a woman like her. I do not know how to handle this situation and need to know what to say to convince her she has value. She should show up at the wedding and show her ass. I told her to bring the pregnancy test to the ceremony. She needs to end this bullshit. Help me help her. Okay. So this was written by a man, I
Damn.
could tell, right? Because he said my homegirl. Okay. And he
Yep.
said he was going to help her raise this child.
Oh,
Not unless
Okay.
you're a stud.
Um.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's That's a big
No, I'm
Not
commitment
pretty
unless
for
sure
she a
that
this is a
stud
baby to
guy.
and
be
she bringing
taken.
in the book bag. Not unless she got the book bag with her.
Okay, so this is a guy. Okay.
This is a guy. I could tell it's a guy, right? But he seemed to be a petty motherfucker. For her to
She
show
got the
up with
book.
that
She
damn
got the book
pregnancy
bag with
test
her.
at the damn ceremony,
Yeah.
you know, okay, I don't know.
No.
Anyway, my commentary on this is that no, no, and no. Um, don't have this baby. I know what you're saying,
No.
but don't have this baby. This. I understand you're at your childbearing age, but you should know at this big old age that you were fucking with somebody and you knew you were the side chick. Because that's what he clearly said. She was the side chick. So it was not news to her. So having these babies, you know, by somebody that you know is, as we've been talking about, the commitment, not committed. And now you want to say, this is baby number 2, and now you don't want to take abortion. Again, I'm going to say this because I say it all the time. Why don't we use a little bit more common sense? You were the side chick. You had already got pregnant before, and so you know what happens. And we still doing those shenanigans. We still there because this is not just about him; it's about her too. Like you're going to take her side, but really, what side is there to take? She knew. I say this all the time. You don't go to fucking Ruth Chris and get the damn main steak and say, you know what? Put some extra sides on there. When it's time to go home, they say, do you want the asparagus and that fucking mashed potatoes? And you might say, hell no, I just want the damn 10-ounce steak that I ate because you want the fucking main, right? So the side chick is always discarded. If you take it home, you might never warm that shit up. And after a week, you might throw it the fuck away. Remember that, ladies. As a side chick, you are sides. Nobody ever wanted the sides. When they come with the fucking menu, and now, guess what? With Chris, you can share your fucking sides. They don't. Nobody wants that. Nobody's taking that home to eat it and say, "I'm gonna have a full meal." They want the fucking main course. You can tell he wants the main course because he's getting ready to marry her, and they're gonna have a child together. So, friend, I would tell you to tell her she needs to figure out how to move away from this situation. You're there to be helping her. I don't know if it's a stud or a man, but I assumed it was a man. You need to be helping her build her character and build her resolve to understand that there are so many other people that will appreciate her and love her for who she is, and she doesn't have to be the side. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Bookworm.
She better not. Her and that petty friend of hers better not go and show up at that wedding doing that. No, no. Don't do that. You are 34 years old. You know the rules. You should know by 34 what the rules and the responsibilities of a side chick is. And if you did not, shame on you. Because you fooled me once, shame on you. You fooled me twice, shame on me. That's her fault now. That's on her. So if you want that baby, then have that baby. But be very understanding. That's your baby. You chose to have that baby. That is your baby. Before he gets married, sooner than later, let him know you are pregnant by him. How would he like to proceed? Would he like to give me under the table money? Would he like to keep it all whatever? Because we're not getting into all of that. You got pregnant twice. And at 34, you should be able to take care of this baby with or without him. And it looks like he made his choice because he ain't marrying you. So don't go messing up that lady's marriage with her cheating man. Let her find out on her own. Don't go messing up her day, but tell him and figure something out. But that's your baby, sweetie, because you allowed yourself to be a fool and you did not take a book out of the side chick. You didn't take a page out of the side chick book because you just fucked up. You just fucked up for all the other side chicks out there trying to make a living. Shit, they make me sick.
Listen.
That's it. You 34. We're not talking about 20.
She done pissed Bookworm off.
34.
So listen.
Oh my God.